What's going on, everybody? It's your boy J Main back checking in with the people. I'm back with another video. Yes, I'm gonna try to do at least one video a day. That way I can at least, stay consistent with the content. But today, I want to talk about the NPD sale results for March of 2017. Lots of stuff to unpack here. A couple interesting things that I think will, bode well for NPD sales moving forward, and I hope other companies, specifically first party, jump on board. So for starters, March retail games were up 24% year over year. Hardware was up 91% year over year. Console and handheld games were up 5% year over year. Physical and Steam sales were down 25% year over year. So most of this is because the Nintendo Switch launched. Of course, hardware is going to be up because typically hardware does not release in March. Usually it's the holiday season. So for it to be up 91% year over year, you got to give most of that credit to the Nintendo Switch. Plus, PS4 had a boatload of games come out in the beginning of this year. And, March, we saw Horizon and, Mass Effect, things like that people are picking up consoles to play. So definitely want to give credit to the Switch. Definitely want to give credit to Sony for their, continued they're bombarding us with games. It's crazy. What else? Physical sales being down. I mean, of course, digital is on the rise. Soon, digital will be the main source for buying games. Physical will stay around, and it'll be for those people who like to collect. But the future is digital, and it's only a matter of time before, that becomes number one. If it's not, already approaching there right now. But getting past the boring stuff, let's get into these charts. Somebody called Ubisoft because they don't give a damn what you got to say about their games. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands was the best-selling game for March, and it is the best debut ever for a Ghost Recon game. Yes, Ubisoft continues to drop these games, and they continue to sell. They don't care what anybody has to say, and you got to give credit where credit is due. They're doing their damn thing with these sales, at least. I'm not sure the quality of their games for all of them, at least. I haven't picked up one since the Division, but the sales speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? People are buying them. People are picking it up. Coming in at number 2, and I won't go down the whole list because, interesting enough, NPD now includes top 20 for sales when it comes to software. So that's very interesting. I believe it was top 10 for the longest, but now it is top 20. So number 2 was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we had numbers from NPD a while ago when they told us that 1.3 million were sold for Zelda. And that was, of course, US because that's what NPD covers, and physical, of course, because that's what NPD covers. So to see that number 2 was shocking at first, but then I thought back to when we got those numbers, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Over 900,000 on the Switch alone. And I believe they were saying that, of course, the Wii U was like around 400,000. So Zelda doing this damn thing. Coming in at number 3 is Mass Effect Andromeda. It says here that it was the second best debut for Mass Effect ever after Mass Effect 3, which sold 1.3 million in the first month. So you can kind of pinpoint where it's at, with Zelda being at 1.3, this somewhere under that, in that area. So even though Mass Effect got a lot of backlash from people, it seems that they were able to, sell pretty well in the first month. It'll be interesting to see where that game charts moving forward because, they are working on improving the game, fixing the animations, but is it too late? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times that first impression really sours people and they're done after that. Coming in at number 4 is Horizon Zero Dawn. This was an interesting one. I expected Horizon to be at number 3 when it came to NPD for March because it was out the longest out of most of these games that are ahead of it. I don't remember when Wildlands came out. I believe Horizon came out after Wildlands, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Let me double check that. Let me double check real quick. Pardon me. Ghost Recon Wildlands. I don't want to give y'all incorrect information, you know what I'm saying? So Ghost Recon Wildlands came out, yeah, March 7th. So Horizon came out before all of these games ahead of it. Now, all of these games ahead of it did launch on multiple platforms. I definitely get that. So to see Mass Effect, to see Zelda, to see Ghost Recon, which is a multiplat, on higher than Horizon, yeah, but I don't know. I still kind of felt Horizon would do a little bit better than it did. And of course, if it was including digital, it would probably be above Mass Effect Andromeda and possibly even Zelda, but who knows what Zelda did digitally as well. So it's hard to gauge that whole situation. But what is interesting is that NPD notes that Microsoft is actually going to be including digital sales on NPD charts moving forward. I thought this was some of the biggest news that we found out in this month's NPD, because since the new transition for NPD, only the third-party publishers have been including their digital sales when it comes to charts. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft have not. But Microsoft seems to be the first one on board with including digital sales out of the big three. And I hope Sony and Nintendo get on board. Now, I know a lot of people don't care about sales, but for me personally, I like to gauge the market, see how the industry is doing. It's not to fight no fanboy wars. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? A game selling well is great. It don't put no money in my pocket. I just like to see what the forecast is, what the market is looking like for these games. So that's why I pay so much attention to NPDs. And for Microsoft to include digital, it just creates more and more transparency between publisher and consumer for us to get a good look at what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully Sony and Nintendo get on board. That way we can look at these charts and say, okay, everything is on the table right here. This is where this is at, and this is where that's at. So good job, Microsoft. Number 5, MLB 17 The Show. Got to give a round of applause to MLB. Continues to come out every year, be a quality game, and sell pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Coming in at number 5 is definitely a great spot for it, and I actually didn't expect it to be that high. But what is interesting about MLB this year is that it only came out on PS4. It wasn't on PS3, and it wasn't on the Vita this year. So strictly PS4, coming in number 5, thought that was really good. Again, I won't go down this whole list, just a couple key points. Number 9, we had Nier Automata. So it was nice to see that coming in at number 9. And what else is new on here? We got Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 at number 11. 1-2 Switch came in at number 12. And the typical stuff on here, Grand Theft Auto, number 6. That game is a beast. 2K on here, Call of Duty, stuff like that, Bomberman is also on here, number 17. But yeah, that's the top 20 as we get top 20 now for NPD charts. So very interesting stuff. I thought it was a good month, a lot of great games. My initial reaction was that I expected Horizon to be higher. I expected MLB to be lower. But, that's why I like looking at these charts, because they always surprise me somewhere. And overall, Ubisoft is king. No matter how much we shit on them, Ubisoft is king. But, yeah, man, that's all I got to say about these NPD charts. Let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this month. Do y'all think it was an interesting one? How do y'all feel about Microsoft including digital sales now? Going to be interesting when comparing those if Sony and Nintendo don't get on board. So, rate the video while you're here. Thumbs up, thumbs down, however you feel. Subscribe to the channel while you're here. Stick around. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop a video. And I'll catch y'all in my next one. Peace.